الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى أهله وصحبه ومن والاه أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is our fourth module in book 2, Alhamdulillah, and this lesson number 3 is a very long lesson with a lot of new concepts to be learned. And so we'll probably break it into, inshallah. In this lesson number 3, you learn the following. Number 1 is comparative and superlative degree of the adjective. Comparative and superlative degree in Arabic is called ismu tafdil. Ismu tafdil. So that's the way you compare two things. Like in English, you might want to say, you're taller than me. So that's comparative. And superlative would be you are the tallest man or something like that. So in Arabic, how do you do that? That is ismu tafdil. And that's what we'll learn in this lesson. Adjectives in the comparative degrees are on the pattern of af'ala, like ajmalu. So you take the adjective and then you put it on the pattern of af'ala. So ajmalu means more beautiful, and ahsanu means better, and asgharu means smaller. So of course ajmalu is from jamilun. Jamilun means beautiful, and then ajmalu. When you put jamilun in the pattern of af'alu, how do you put it in the pattern? You put an amza before all of the adjectives, and then you take the first letter, you give it a sukun. The second letter, you give it a fatha, and then the last letter, you give it a dhamma. So jamilun, you drop the ya that has a sukun, the ya sakina, then you change all others to this pattern. So af'ala is the pattern you use to form more beautiful or more your tafdil, your comparative degree. So ahsanu, of course, is from hasanu, and then asgharu is from saghirun, and aqdamu is from qadimun. So aqdamu means older. As we have already learned, words on this pattern are deep thought and so have no tanween. So of course you already know those adjectives that are on the pattern of af'adu, they don't have tanween. So your tafdil will not have tanween. You will not say akdamun. It will be akdamu with one dhamma. Af'alu is followed by min, e.g. you say Hamid is taller than Bilal. So that will be Hamidun atwalu min Bilalin. Min is what you use for than in English, and this is the special construction of tafdil, of comparative degree. You use min, and in that min you translate the min to mean than, not from in this case when you're using tafdil. So Hamidun atwalu min Bilalin. Hamid is taller than Bilal. Of course, atwalu is coming from tawilun. And now you understand akbaru. So what is akbaru? Akbaru means greater. And if it is superlative, it will mean greatest. And we'll learn superlative also. We're currently learning comparative, how to compare things. Something is better than something. And then superlative is when you want to say that thing is the best. So you say Allahu Akbaru. So now you know the Akbaru is coming from Kabirun. And the Akbaru is on the wazan of Af'alu, which is Tabdil. Alright, so Af'alu is the same for masculine, feminine, singular, and plural. So Af'alu is to make your life easy. If you're using muannas or mudhakkar or mufrad or jam'u, af'alu is af'alu. So these are examples to practice that with. You have Bilalun atwalu min aminata. Bilal is taller than Amina. So atwalu in this case is masculine. And then you have Aminatu atwalu min Bilalin. And of course, Amina is feminine. So atwalu is referring to a female in this case. But still, you have afwalu. Atwalu. There's no atwalatun. By Bilalun atwalu min Amina. Aminatu atwalu min Bilalin. And then you have the plural. Al-abna'u, the children. Atwalu. This is plural now, and you still use atwalu. Atwalu min al-banat. The sons are taller than the daughters. And then al-banatu atwalu min al-abna. The daughters are taller than the son. Everything is atwalu, af'alu. So when you're using tabdil, there is no plural, there is no singular, there is no masculine, there is no feminine. It is all atwalu, af'alu. So you should note the following, wherein min is followed by a pronoun. And I think we should be able to do that by now. So when min is followed by a pronoun, you have to change the pronoun to the majrur form of the pronoun. Like the majrur form of huwa is hu, and anta is ka. So you have anta ahsanu minni. These are two plural pronouns. You are better than me. Anta, you. Ahsanu, ahsanu, better. Minni. So now the ya is for me. You're better than me. Minni. Min plus ya mutakallim. And then also you have ana aqsaru minka. I am shorter than you. Ka. So that's how you do that. Af'alu is also used for the superlative degree. Okay, af'alu is also used for the superlative degree. In this case, it is followed by a noun in the genitive case, which means when you are using it as a superlative meaning you're saying something is the greatest. Like you want to say, Bilal is the tallest student. So you say Bilalun atwalu talibin. Now the noun that follows your superlative will have to be majrur. That's the meaning of genitive case. The noun that follows will have to be majrur. So example, you have Ibrahimu ahsanu talibin. And pay attention, you might be prompted to say ahsanu tulabin. No, it's not. When you're using superlative, you still use singular after the af'alu, but you make sure it is majrur. So Ibrahim ahsanu is the best. Talibin fi al-madrasati is the best student in the school. And how do I know this is best and not is better? Once you don't see min and then it's not comparing anything. So ahsanu, and it is followed by the noun directly. So that means you're talking about best, superlative in this case. So Ibrahim is the best student in the school. You can't find any min comparing him to anybody. It's just saying he's the best. So af'alu in that case will not use min. Another example is al-Azhar. Al-Azhar. Al-Azhar is the university in Egypt. So al-Azhar aqdamu jami'atin fil alami. The Azhar is the oldest university in the world. Aqdamu is the oldest university fil alami, in the world. All right. Fatimatu akbaru talibatin fi faslina. Fatima is the oldest. Akbaru. So you see, Akbaru can mean sinan, like is the oldest in age, and this is what is referring to here. So Fatima is Akbaru talibatin, is the eldest. Fi faslina, in our class. And you should pay attention to the fact that the Arabic name for both the comparative and superlative degree is af'alu at-tafdil. Af'alu at-tafdil, and sometimes they are called ismu tafdil, akbaru tafdil, af'alu tafdil, af'alu tafdil or ismu tafdil. That means comparative or superlative degree. And then the second thing you learn in lesson number 3 is lakinna, walakinna. And I think we came across it briefly. Lakinna means but. So walakinna, but, is one of the sisters of inna. You know, we opened with inna. Arfu tawkidin wa nasbin. And I told you inna as akhawat. Inna as sisters. So walakinna min akhawati inna. That's how you do the Arab. Walakinna is from the sisters, is among the sisters of inna. And how is that important? Because it will act like inna. So how do inna act? Inna makes mubtada into ismu inna mansubun, and it makes khabar into khabaru inna marfu'an. So the sisters will do the same. Take example. Bilalun mujtahidun. Bilal is outworking. Walakinna hamidan. Hamidan mansub. Walakinna hamidan kaslanu. So Bilal is outworking, but Hamid is lazy. So Bilalun is your mubtada. And then mujtahidun is khabar. And then you have walakinna. And lakinna is min akhawati inna. And then Hamidan is ismu lakinna mansub. And kaslanu is khabaru lakinna marfu'. Alright, so you have another example. Akhi mutazawwijun. Walakinnani azabun. My brother is married, but I am. Walakinnani. So the ismu lakinna in this case is a damir, a pronoun. Ya mutakallim. Walakinnani, but I am azabun. I am a bachelor. Sayarati qadimatun. My car is old. Qadimatun. Walakinnaha, but it is qawiyya. It is strong. Alright, those are two things you learn in lesson number 3. The third thing you look out for is ka'anna. So you're having sisters of inna wholesale now. Ka'anna is min akhawati inna. Ka'anna is one of the sisters of inna. Okay. And so the noun following it is mansub. It means it looks like, or it looks as if. So ka'anna means it is like. I think we came across it in the last lesson. You say man al-fata ka'annahu akhuk, or something in that line. Ka'annaka means like you are. So ka'annaka maridun, it's like you are sick. Alright, so these are examples. Ka'anna al-imama, and it's min akhawati inna, so you be careful what you do with mubtada and khabar. Mubtada will change to ismu ka'anna. Khabar will change to khabaru ka'anna. Ka'anna al-imama maridun. It looks as if the imam is sick. Ka'anna al-imama. Ismu ka'anna mansub. Alright, so just to recap, we've taken inna. We said you describe inna as arfu tawkidin wa nasbin. And then we've taken walakinna, and we said it's min akhawati inna. And now we're adding another sister, ka'anna. So we have 3 sisters now. We'll add more. There are more than 3, but not now, inshallah. Alright. Number 4 we'll learn in this lesson is numbers from 11 to 20 with masculine ma'dud, masculine thing counted. So we learned 1, we learned 2, and we said 1 and 2, they are not man'ud. Then we learned 3 to 10, and we learned the ruling of using 3 to 10, and we learned how the ma'dud will be. Ma'dud will be mudaf ilayhi. And then now we want to learn 11 to 20 with masculine ma'dud, and we'll go back to feminine ma'dud. So the numbers from 11 to 20 with the masculine ma'dud, these numbers are compound. Murakkab, they are compound, meaning they are compounded. They are not one part. They are two parts brought together. They consist of two parts. The ma'dud is singular mansub. So you see the difference between the ma'dud of 11 to 20 from the ma'dud of 3 to 10. So 3 to 10, the ma'dud is plural majrur. Plural majrur. But once you are counting from 11 to 20, and then your ma'dud will have to be singular mansub. It's completely different. So example is, in Surah to Yusuf, Yusuf alayhi salam told his father that he saw ahada ashara kawkaban. I saw 11 stars. Washamsa wal qamar, and he saw the moon and the sun, and he saw them prostrated to him. So he said ahada ashara kawkaban, not bin. It is mansub and it is singular, kawkab. Ahada ashara is your number, 11. And then another example, you have tis'ata ashara. Actually, we'll learn all of this number in the main lesson once we begin the lesson number 3 proper. Numbers 11 and 12, just like number 1 and 2, here both parts agree with the ma'dud. They agree with the ma'dud. So you say ahada ashara taliban, because you are counting taliban, which is muzakkar. So ahada is muzakkar, ashara is muzakkar. So both of them will agree like they are not, but don't call them not. They will agree just like 1 and 2 will agree with the numbering. So you say ahada ashara taliban, 11 students. And if you are counting female, they will completely also agree. Both of them will also be feminine. So for example, you want to count talibatan. So it will become ihda. Ihda is the muannas of ahada. Ihda is the muannas of ahada. Ihda ashrata. So ihda became muannas, ashrata became muannas. Why? Because you are counting muannas. And 1 and 2, they will have to agree completely with what you are counting in gender. So ihda ashrata talibatan. You'll have to jot this down and revise it. The numbering in Arabic, you have to revise the rules. May Allah make it easy. Alright, so number 2, when you are counting 12, and it has the same ruling as 11. Isna ashara taliban. Isna ashara, 12. Taliban, tamyizun mansub, 12 students. But what if we are counting 12 female students? So it becomes isnata. So isnata is the muannas of isna. Isnata ashrata, muannas of ashara. Talibatan, singular mansub. Now, that is 11 and 12. 13 to 19 have different rulings regarding agreement with the ma'dud. So numbers from 13 to 19, here the second part agrees with the ma'dud and the first part does not. So the second part, the part that is closest to what you are counting, they agree. They become friends and they agree because they are close together. And the first part of the number, which is farther away from what you are counting, it disagrees with what you are counting in gender. So as you can see, you have examples here. Salasata ashara taliban. Now we're counting, we left 1 and 11 and 12, we're counting 13. And we are counting male students. So male students, it will agree with this ashara part that is close to it in gender. So they are both masculine. And then the first part of the number would disagree with what you are counting, making it feminine. So you say salasata ashara taliban. Inshallah, this will become easier with practice. And then the other side of it is when you are counting a feminine student. So we want to count talibatan. So that will make it is muannas. The closest part to it will agree with it and become muannas, and the first part will disagree and become zakar. So this is salasa ashrata talibatan. And note that this 11 to 19, they end with fatha. So you make sure everything ends with fatha, except for ihda and isnata, which ends with a mad. As you can see, salasata ashara taliban, the ma'dud taliban is masculine. So the second part of the number ashara is masculine, while the first part salasata is feminine, as indicated by the ta marbuta ending. In salasa asharata talibatan, the ma'dud talibatan is feminine, so the second part of the number asharata is feminine, while the first part salasa is masculine, as indicated by the absence of the ta marbuta. So in this lesson, we'll learn these numbers only with masculine ma'dud. We'll learn them again with the feminine ma'dud in lesson number 6, inshallah. Alright, these numbers are mabni, they are fixed, they are indeclinable, they are fixed like that. They cannot become salasati, they cannot become salasatu, salasata. They are mabniyun on fatha. In other words, they do not change to indicate their function in this sentence. So even if you bring min before salasata ashara, it will still be salasata ashara. It will not be min salasati. No, they are mabni, they're just fixed like that. This will become clear by comparing the numbers from 3 to 10 with these numbers. So for example, you say indi salasatu riyalat, I have 3 riyalat. And in this case, of course, salasatu is marfu' in this example. And then another example, if you say uridu salasata riyalat, and now salasata has become mansub. Why? Because it is maf'ulun bihi in this example. It is what you want. So you see, numbers do change. If it is not from 11 to 10, sorry, 11 to 20. But if it is from 11 to 20, no matter what's happening in the sentence, it is just remaining the same. Like you see, indi salasata ashara riyalan. In this case, salasata ashara, two of them together are your mubtada marfu', but they are mabni, so it's salasata, not salasatu. And then you say uridu salasata ashara, it's the mabni. And then you say azal qalamu bi salasata. So you see, it's completely connected with ba kasra bi, which is harfu jar, or it's still salasata. It's not going salasati. Why? Because it is mabni. So you should note that although they are mabni, isna and isnata commences with hamzatul wasl, and the hamzatul wasl is omitted in pronouncing when preceded by a word. So that is to avoid two sukuns coming together, and we'll pronounce more of that in the lesson. The number 20 is ashiruna. Ashiruna, it has the same form for masculine and feminine ma'dud, and the ma'dud is singular mansub. It's the same, the ma'dud takes the same law as the ma'dud of 11 to 19, but 20 doesn't change with gender. Ishiruna is ishiruna. So you say ishiruna talibatan and ishiruna taliban. We'll learn the numbers from 30 to 90 in lesson 23, inshallah. We'll learn there other cases of these numbers as well. Now, those are 4 things we'll learn in this lesson. Number 5 that you'll learn in this lesson is the ordinal number. You know, the numbers you use for position, the ordinal numbers. So you have 1, but 1 is different from first. So 1 is wahidun, and you cannot say wahidun for first. So what is first? First is awwalu. Awwalu. So the word for first is awwalu. Ordinal numbers from 2 to 10 are formed on the pattern of fa'ilu. Fa'ilu. From 2 to 10, they are on the pattern of fa'ilu. So you want to form salasa, salasatun. You want to make it ordinal number. You just have to put it on the pattern of fa'ilu. So it will become salisu. And then arba'atun or arba'un, it will become rabi'u. And khamsatun will become khamisu. And asharatun will become ashiru. Alright, so those are examples. You make it on the pattern of fa'ilu, except number 1. Number 1, awwalu, is not on the pattern of fa'ilu. And the mu'annas of awwalu is ula. And people name their children awwal. I think those are for the firstborn, awwalu. And then ashir, which means 10th. I don't know, probably is the 10th born. Alright, so number 16 you learn in this lesson. Okay, before that, let's read this. Second is sanin. Second means sanin, which is originally saniyun, on the pattern of fa'ilun, like golin, that we learned in lesson number 1. When you put al, you write it with a ya after it, asani. Alright, the 16, alaysa kazalik. Alaysa kazalik means, is it not so? Isn't it like that? Alaysa kazalik. So if a student is asked, anta talibun alaysa kazalik, you are a student, is that not so? The answer to that, if you are a student, is to say bala, ana talibun. Or you can just say bala. So if I ask you, anta talibun, are you a student? Are you a something? Alaysa kazalik? Sorry, there will be no a. If you say anta talibun, you are a student. Alaysa kazalik? Is that not so? And then the answer to that, if you are a student, will be bala. Of course. Ana talibun, I'm a student. And if you are not a student, the answer to that surprisingly will be nam. Nam, to mean I'm not a student, although you said nam. So when you are answering a negative question, you have two options. If you are agreeing with the question, you say bala. If you are disagreeing with the question, you surprisingly say nam, because the question is in negation. Anta talibun alaysa kazalik. And we'll learn more about that in lesson number 6, inshallah. Ayyuhuma, this is the 7th thing we'll learn. Ayyuhuma, which means which one of them, which one of the two, which of the two. Ayyuhuma. Example, fil fasli taliban. There are 2 students in the class. Min Firanza. There are 2 French students in the class. Ayyuhuma akhuk. Which one of them is your brother? So there are 2 students from France in the class. Which one of them is your brother? And then the 8th thing, it's a long lesson, we'll learn in this lesson is 2 broken plural forms, mafa'ilu and mafa'ilu, like fanadiku. Fanadiku, which means hotel. And then fanajino. Fanajino. So these are all on the pattern of these are both on the pattern of mafa'ilu. Fanadiku is on the pattern of mafa'ilu, and mafa'ilu is the pattern of fanajino. These are called muntaha al-jumu'i. Muntaha al-jumu'i. This pattern and the plurals that are on these patterns. And you see they don't have tanwin. So fanadiku and fanajino. All right. Number 7. All right. This is exercises. These are exercises, and we've taken all of the major things we'll be learning in this lesson. And these are the vocabularies that we'll be coming across. Mahja'un, mahjahun, hostel. Kaukabun, stars. And then fariqun, which means team, like team, football team or things like that. And then you have shaqiqun, full brother. In a dream, if you want to say you saw something in the dream, it is fil manam. So al manam is your dream. So fil manam, in the dream. And then nawafizu, which means window. Age, sinnu. It can also mean teeth, tooth, sinnu, or age. And mouth, shahrun. Month, sorry, shahrun, like shahru Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. And la'ibun, a player, like a football player. And then wasi'un, spacious. Shahirun, famous. Samanun, price. And then kaslanun, the feminine form of kaslanun is kasla. This is on the pattern of fa'ala. And I think we'll soon learn the feminine form of these adjectives. So kaslanun is for a man. The man is lazy, is kaslanun. And then the female form is kasla. All right, I think it is proper that we'll get more revision of our fi'l, sarf, before we start the sarf of mudari'a. So let's do example. Sa'ala. Sa'ala is on the bab of fataha, which means the mudari'a will become yas'alu. Sa'ala yas'alu. Sa'ala yas'alu. But let's conjugate the past tense and then we'll try to change it to present tense. So sa'ala, sa'ala, sa'alu, sa'alat, sa'alata, and then from there it will become, you bring mutaharrik pronoun, and then you say sa'alna, sa'alta, sa'altuma, sa'altum, sa'alti, sa'altuma, sa'altunna, and then I will be sa'altu, and us will be sa'alna. Alright, so sa'altul mudarisa, I asked the teacher. And then let's take another example. So the mudari'a of sa'ala is yas'alu because it is in the bab of fataha yaftahu. Alima. Alima is in the bab of sami'a yasma'u. So alima will become ya'lamu. Alima, he knew, and then ya'lamu, he knows. Wallahu ya'lamu, and Allah knows. Wa antum la ta'lamuna, and you people, you don't know. So alima, alima, alimu, alimat, alimata, and then alimna, alimta, alimtuma, alimtum, alimti, alimtuma, alimtunna, alimtu, alimna. All right. So please try to learn the verbs and their conjugation is very important. So let's take a look at this verse from Suratul Baqarah. And I feel you should by now be able to translate and do some analysis on your own. So the verse reads, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا. Alright, so let's try to translate. Of course, we know fi. Everybody knows fi means in. So we got that in. Qulubihim is two words. So of course, it makes sense to dissect the words before translating so that you don't get confused. So let's begin with kulubu. It's kulubi because it is ismu majrur. So what is kulubi? Kulub, what does it look like? I think it sounds like qalb. Yes, so it is the plural of qalb, and qalb means heart. So qulub means hearts, in their hearts. Qulubihim. So him, now let's go to him. What is him? Him is whom. Why is it now him? Why is it not written as whom? Because a kasra preceded the ha. So that's why it is him. And so why is kulubu not kulubu? Why is it kulubi? Because it is related by arfu jar. Alright? So the meaning is fi kulubihim, in their hearts. So let's try the Arab. Fi is arfu jar. Kulub is ismu majrur wa huwa mudaf. Him is mudaf ilayhi, majrurun. Fine. So what is this? Maradun. What does it look like? I'm talking about the meaning. Exactly. So it looks like maridun. What is the meaning of maridun? Is sick. So marad is the sickness itself. Maridun is somebody that is sick. Maridun is like a gnat. Marad is ismu about is sickness. It means sickness. So fi qulubihim maradun, in their heart is a sickness. Maradun is not al-marad. Fi qulubihim maradun. There's a sickness in their heart. So question, this is what type of sentence? Let's draw a line. Fi qulubihim maradun. What type of sentence is this? Exactly. Jumla ismiya. How is it jumla ismiya when it begins with fi? Well, it doesn't begin with a verb, so it's not jumla fi'liya. And it begins with fi qulubihim, meaning the mubtada is pushed forward and the khabar is muqaddam. So why is the mubtada pushed forward, and why didn't we begin with the mubtada? I think before we answer that question, we should identify what the mubtada is to begin with. So marad is the mubtada. Maradun, you see, it's even the only thing that is marfu' in this sentence, and mubtadas should be marfu'. Maradun. Maradun is your mubtada. It is put forward because it doesn't have alif and lam, is not ma'arifa, and its khabar fi qulubi is jarun wa majrurun. This is a law we've learned and we've repeated. So when the mubtada is nakira and the khabar is jarun wa majrurun, you push the mubtada forward and you bring the khabar first. So if it was al-maridu, al-marad fi qulubihim, then you would have brought it forward and said al-marad fi qulubihim. But because it's not al-marad, it's maradun. So we said fi qulubihim maradun. Alright, so this jumla ismiya, fi qulubihim is jarun wa majrurun, shibu jumla khabar, qulubi is mudaf, and him is mudaf ilayhi, maradun is mubtada. Alhamdulillah. And let's go ahead. فَزَادَهُمُ Fa is so, it means so. Zada. Zada means it increased. He increased. Zada is a verb, just like zahaba. It's called ajwaf. This type of verb is called ajwaf. We'll soon learn it, inshallah. Because it's not full 3 letters. There's a weak letter in the middle of it. So zada. And you can conjugate up to hunna. So it will be zada, zada, zadu, zadat, zadata, and then from hunna we'll learn later, inshallah. So fazadahum, so fa means so, zada means he increased. You know, like you pray for somebody and you say zadakallahu ilman, zadaka, he should increase ka, you, ilman, in knowledge. Zadakallahu ilman. It should increase you in knowledge. May Allah increase you in knowledge. So in this case, saying fazadahum, so they are the one that Allah increased. Allah increased them. Allah is your fa'il here. Fazada. So he increased. Who did he increase? Whom? He increased them. Who increased them? Allahu. So he increased them. So Allah increased them maradan, in sickness. So you see, maradun, maradan. He increased them in sickness. This is just very close to the construction of zadakallahu ilman. Ilman, of course, in that one is also mansub. So fazadahumullahu marada. So let's try the i'rab. Zada is your fi'l, is the verb. And then whom, what is whom? Whom is the people that they are increasing in sickness. So they are the one that are receiving the action. So of course they are the maf'ulun bihi. So whom is your maf'ulun bihi mansub. And then what is this Allahu lafzu jalala? That is marfu'. Allah is the one increasing them. So Allah is your fa'il, the one that is doing the action. Fa'ilun marfu'un. So zada is fi'l, hum is maf'ulun bihi mansubun, Allahu lafzu jalalati is your fa'il, and maradan, we'll learn that later inshallah. So let's translate again. في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا. There's a sickness in their heart, and then Allah increased them in sickness. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. What's that? وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَلِيمٌ. Wa is atf, and lahum for them, and for them lahum, you say li akhun, I have a brother, so lahum for them, walahum, and for them, adhabun, a punishment. For them is a punishment. Adhabun, a punishment. Alimun is not only a punishment, there's a nat after it. Adhabun alimun, for them is a painful punishment. May Allah save us from his punishment. So this is like the first statement. This is Jumla Ismiya. But the Mubtada has been pushed forward because it is Nakira and the Khabar is Jarun wa Majrurun. So وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. The Arab will be Waw is Ataf, and then Lahum is Jarun wa Majrurun Shibhu Jumla Khabar Muqaddam. And then you have Adhabun, which is your Mubtada Muakhar. And then you have Alimun, which is not for Adhabun. So وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ bima means because of, for what? كَانُوا, for what they used to, يَكْذِبُونَ, for what they used to deny. Alright. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ, there's a sickness in their heart. فَزَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا, and Allah increased them in sickness. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, and they have a painful punishment. بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْذِبُونَ, for what they used to deny, what they used to lie about. Alright, so I think we should pause here, and we'll begin the lesson proper in the next class, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.